teachers having sex with underage people, or are they?
18.
We're not sure. um, it's the new Hulu miniseries. I think it's Hulu and
FX on Hulu.
miniseries. Um, a teacher, which funny name. Starring Kate Mara. We got Nick Robinson, who you would know from I, Simon or Love Simon. Love Simon, geez.
As well as the older brother in Jurassic World.
Yeah, it was funny because I kept being like, I've seen him in a movie though, and then I was like, oh yeah, there we go, Jurassic World. Anyways, this premiered on Hulu. They dropped the first 3 episodes today, day of recording, November 10th. I only got through about 1.5, so I'm not caught up on all 3. Did you get through all 3?
I've only seen the first.
So we're gonna kind of take this slow, and we know people may have seen more than we're going to be talking about. Still leave your thoughts. Let us know if our general take on the first episode fits for you. But I was left a little bit intrigued, but also a little bit underwhelmed by this first episode. Kate Mara, such an electric presence almost every time she's on screen, feels almost like a bit like dulled down here. And I also feel like just engaging with this type of material is tough stuff. Like it's hard because like at the same time, these are like beautiful people who are not, Nick Robinson, I believe, is in his mid-20s. Like he's not actually an underage person. But they're portraying this relationship, or this budding potential romantic sexual relationship that obviously is illegal and wrong. So it's I'm sure they'll be exploring this more, but I found it a little bit tough to kind of get into. How are you feeling after the first episode?
Yeah, definitely more wait and see for me. I have some reservations. I mean, it didn't come out of the blue. This show was created by Hannah Fidel, who directed a movie of the same name that premiered at Sundance back in 2013. And this is essentially a dramatization of that film on TV, like we want to see often in the era of peak TV. Yet, when I realized it was 10 episodes, I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot for this, even if they're only half-hour episodes. It feels like this could get thin quick. Having only seen 1 episode, I don't actually know that yet. But you think about what we saw in the first episode, right? Like, what kind of, are you going to get sparks? I don't know if you want sparks. There's a warning about like the portrayal of grooming before the episode starts, right? Yeah, and like there's a hotline at the end. Like, it's not something you want to sensationalize, even if it is like salacious content. And I like, if Kate Mara and Nick Robinson are really great in the show, it'll probably be enough for me. But like, I also kind of question like what you gain from having like adding more to this story, because like if it's well contained as a movie, do you really need to triple its length? Like what are you adding to it? Remains to be seen, obviously. But I mean, going in, I was like, okay, Mara hasn't been in my life in a while. I know she was on Pose, but I don't watch that show. But other than that, it's kind of been a minute, ever since really being, a scene stealer in House of Cards so long ago at this point.
Yeah, it's funny when I think about her career and even her sister. I feel like the name, I think, for a lot of reasons outside of their acting ability, is well known. Coming from a famous family, and I feel like 10 years ago when House of Cards came out, maybe it was even longer, people were talking about this and talking about these two, and it's like these two are going to be the next like it girls of Hollywood. In a lot of ways, did not take over that sphere the way we kind of expected, but still, every time I feel like Kate Mara, Rooney Mara show up in a show, it's like, or a film, you're just kind of like, damn, like they really capture your attention. I think there's a lot to like about the show, and just kind of seeing the beginning of the second episode, it seems like there's potential in terms of what you talk about that story being thin to like explore like the teenness of the show. I haven't seen the movie obviously, but to like explore those teen situations and have a bit of a teen show with this like overarching theme of this relationship, this
Right.
inappropriate relationship, which I think could maybe buoy a 10 episode season, but 10 episodes, especially for a mini series, a half hour mini series about a topic that, like you said, could maybe be done in like 4 to 5 episodes is a little interesting. So I agree. I think that I'm eager to see how they kind of pull that off. Um, One thing I did want to say, just kind of a random, not really anything about the show. Good music choices. They start off with LCD sound system at the beginning, so obviously I liked that. And I
Very good
also
start.
felt, yeah, and I also felt like the uh, just the overall feeling. Like they were very self aware. There's a moment, I can't remember if it's at the beginning second episode. I think it's in the first, where one of the teenage boys is like talking about the other teenage boy's like little sister, and
Yeah,
he's
it's the
like, "Well,
first
you look
episode.
30." And I was like, "Yeah, that guy does look 30." I'm glad that they like called that out, because like that's one of those moments where like it's like Grease, where those people, the original actors are supposed to be playing 15 or 16-year-olds, and they're
Right.
45. But um anything else you liked about the show or that you didn't like?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I definitely want to see more and see
Mhm.
because like I think in this first episode, Nick Robinson is still kind of tight. His character, like it hasn't lightened up yet, and from what I understand, later in the season, the consequences of an affair of this nature are explored, and the affair itself is almost like the framing for most of the season, not so much dominating the whole season. So I like to see more of that. And Nick Robinson, this probably is one of his first kind of forays into more adult themes. He's still playing a young person, but um, looking forward to that. I feel like I know what I'm gonna get from Kate Mara in this, and that's fine. I think she's well cast, but um, thematically, I'm just skeptical of like what the show's going to try and achieve because when you have attractive leads that have chemistry and are giving good performances, if it's around subject matter that's hard to get behind, it can leave you wanting. Kind of reminds me of how I felt about I Know This Much Is True, and it's like all the window dressing kind of just is going to shape how you feel about what's happening, what you're seeing. So definitely want to see more, but I think for a first episode, it's solid. I don't know if like the hook's super great though, because it's kind of slow played in that first episode.
We'll be checking back in with the show as the season winds down.